Royalty, royalty, power to the chosen people.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to share the truth. Now, really, let me start by saying there's no cut and dry equation or formula for how this actually works. And I think that's the issue for a lot of people. A lot of people are looking for this cookie cutter formula similar to Christianity and how you come to a person and go, have you heard the wonderful news of Jesus Christ? It's not that. Yah's way is always something that's functional and it's very informal. You're not going to get every single person to understand your perspective of the truth because something meant something to you. Some people are like, if I just tell every black person about Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and they're going to hear about those slave ships, and I'm going to tell them about these curses, they're going to immediately be like, yes, Torah is everything, and I want to follow Yah and his law, statutes, and commandments. And then you go out and you try it, and people are like, okay. And you're like, wait, that hit me hard. Like, that pierced me all the way to my soul. Why are you not feeling that? Then we get angry, and then we want to be like, see, you're just wicked, and you're just this, and it's like, that's not the way. Everybody has something different that's going to draw them back to the Father. Let me start with, you're not drawing a person to a religion. So if that's your goal, a person is going to be turned off. If your goal is to show somebody how to live the Hebrew way through a misplaced religious group, I guess, I can't think of another word, then you're going to lose the person, because people love their religion. And honestly, if you want to talk about the ability to just do whatever you feel like, Christianity totally has the better package for those who want to be lawless. It has the package of lawlessness. So if you want to be lawless, then you just roll with Christianity, because it has the premium package, for doing whatever the heck you want to do. But if you want to be obedient and you want to please the Father, and you say you love the HaMashiach, then obviously Yah's way is the best way. Sorry for the windshield wipers. It is raining where I am. So when you're sharing how Yah has worked in your life, it might be nice to a person, but it's not going to hit them the same way that it hit you. Really, the best way to share Torah or to share truth is to live it. It's practical. It's something that you live out in order for other people to see how Yah is blessing you, to see how he's transforming you, because a lot of us, we perceive ourselves one way, but other people obviously perceive us a different way. And so when they see these little things in us that, may be negative, changing or us going through a refining process, that is what joins them. I don't think Abraham went around knocking on people's doors like, I've got called by this power, this Elohim, and he wants me to tell you about him, and then if you want to join up with me, and he's going to bless me, and he's going to bless my seed. So if you want to get in on this, holla at me. That totally wasn't what happened. What Abraham did was Abraham lived. What Jacob did was Jacob lived. What Isaac did is Isaac lived. You know what I mean? They lived, and because of how Yah blessed them, what Moses did, Moses lived, and people heard of these people who Yah fought for, and who he cared about, and who he was watching over, and who he was protecting, and who he was blessing. And then people heard the fame, right? The Shem, literally it was Yah. They were hearing about Yah and this people that he loved so much, and it drew people to them. So people, the sojourner, knew who they were coming across, and it was because of how Yah was working in their lives that they wanted to be a part. It wasn't about standing on the corner and yelling and cussing people out. I don't think Abraham ever did that. I mean, Noah did preach for, I think 100 years, if I'm not mistaken, or a little bit more. He totally did that. And I'm not saying what his message is, so I'm not saying there's not a place for certain things, there's not a place for preaching, because that's not my area of expertise. What I'm saying is when you're sharing with people, especially people you care about, the way of reaching them has to be tailor-made for them. And so instead of doing what you feel, because I mean we're very, very egocentric. We think about ourselves first. So if it works for me, then it works for everybody. And that's not necessarily how it works. You need to seek out the Father and seek out what He has for you, and how He sees fit for you to reach His children who are scattered. And that's how you reach them. Most of the time, the way you reach people, especially those who are close to you, who are your family, is through the method of your personality and your character. That doesn't change. Yah gives us our individual personalities and our character because it's a testament to His individual creation of us. And the people that we have gathered to us through friendships and, cultivation of relationship is because of our personality relationship. But when you lose that and lose yourself because you somehow found a religion, then you've missed the whole point. You keep yourself in the sense of your personality and your character, and you allow it to be refined by Yah so that people can see your growth and then they're attracted to your growth, not your YouTube teacher's growth, not your camp leader's growth, not your pastor's growth, not your Maury's growth, but your personal growth. Because we all have our own circle of influence, and how we act upon them is tailor-made by Yah to that particular group. He picks the people that He raises up in truth, and then He uses each individual to then be a light into their particular group. And so, I'll end with, it's kind of like gardening. A lot of you guys probably don't, but those who do will totally understand. Sometimes you can overwater something. And a lot of people are overwatering the people around them because they're not ready. When I first plant, we do a lot of drip irrigation, but we don't soak the ground with water when the seeds are just in the ground. And obviously the seed is the word, so you're putting the word, and then you want to be the one to soak it with water. But what happens is if the soil gets loose, especially for seeds that are planted on the surface, then the seed will literally rise up onto the surface, and then when the water goes down, my chickens are going to come and eat all the seeds. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people are in that same position. You're overwatering the word with your personal convictions, and you're not giving it time to actually take root and grow. Be patient. Yah was patient with us. You don't know how much time it took for Yah to work on you to get you where you are. You just felt like one day I was just up. Well, that's how the seed feels. The seed, you put it in the ground, and the next thing you know, the seed is sprouted and is growing, and you forgot that whole 10-day germination process, or for whatever plant that it took, where you didn't see any progress or any growth. But when you first see that little seedling, you don't go out and start picking the leaves off of it. You wait, and you then go, okay, so let me watch you. I'm going to put my chickens away so they don't come and peck my seedlings to death, and I'm going to make sure that I'm watering appropriately for the level of growth. The water that you can take at your time, at your place right now, and by the water I mean the amount of word or the amount of sharing a person can give to you, is different for a seedling, and it's different for a mature tree or a mature plant. So meet people where they are. It's very, very important. You want to reach people, but you can't put what you know on people. I don't tell people on YouTube everything I know. I don't tell my family everything that I know or everything that I come across, because I want to wait and see what they can come up with, and see where their brain goes, and where they're studying, or and as people talk to me, then I share. And as I grow, and then I see them growing, I might share more. And obviously the people who know more than me are also doing the same thing. You don't push where you are on other people. You're speeding up their process, and then you're going to have a follower and not a person that's really rooted in truth. And that's why a lot of people are switch-swapping and flip-flopping from camp to group to doctrine to this, because you're growing based upon somebody else's growth. So when somebody on YouTube has a better video or a better truth, then you go with that, right? But you're not actually growing in yourself. So you can't really combat these things, so you're growing as another person grows. But if you're growing at your own pace, I think a lot of us would all come to the same general conclusions about a lot of things. So as you're sharing, be very, very conscious of where people are, and talk to them and see how much they know, and don't automatically assume a person knows nothing. and use what they do know as the building blocks of helping them to actually facilitate a better relationship with the Father. Because remember, it's cyclical, just like planting. When you plant the seed, you're waiting for the fruit, but the fruit is used to bring energy for us to do work. So everything that we do then goes back to the glory of the Father, because our work and our deeds are supposed to be to the Father. It's the same thing when we're sharing truth and a person's growing and they yield fruit. That fruit is not for you. It's not for you to feel good, but it's actually to give glory back to the Father, so that that person can then begin to live out their righteous life and then draw other people who they have been placed on this planet to influence through their character and through their personality. So I just wanted to share that because I know a lot of people get frustrated with their family, and I'm a person who has had more family come to the truth through meeting a person where they are and that approach than, you know, my former approach of being like, you lied to me and this is pagan and you're going to hell. And stop panicking. What are you panicking for? You're in the Father's hands. You know how this goes. Trust the process. Trust the process. All right? So, shalom, shalom.
Royalty. Royalty. Power to the chosen people.